In today's video, I am going to share with you a foolproof way to get a good picture. Hello, if we have not met before, my name is Jana Schellman and I'm a wedding photographer in New Jersey and Philadelphia area. And in this video, I would love to share with you 5 tips which are going to just bring us to one conclusion of getting a good picture, no matter what kind of equipment you're using. If it's your cell phone, if it's your DSLR, like a big serious camera, or if it's point and shoot, doesn't matter. If you will remember those 5 things I'm going to tell you, you will be able to get a pretty good picture. So if you don't know this, which I would suspect that you do, photography comes from the word photo, which is light. So light is the most important factor in getting a good picture. Either it's natural light or the light that you will be creating. This is going to make or break the picture in most of the cases. Posing is kind of important too, but light, if you have bad light and amazing pose, the picture will not look good. So in this video, I am talking about light and 5 ways you can find a good light in a very easy way. So I just told you, no matter what kind of equipment you have, you are going to get a good photo if you are going to turn yourself or your object, whatever you're photographing. Right now I was thinking about selfie, so you're going to turn yourself towards the window, or if this is your subject, whatever, if it's your baby, if it's your dog, if it's just an object that you're trying to photograph, a book or something, or a group of people, if you turn them towards the light, towards the window, you are going to get a good picture. Photographing against the window light is very difficult, and only if you have pretty good professional equipment and very good knowledge in how you should be using, what kind of settings you need to have, you will be able to get a pretty decent photo with your camera when you're photographing against the window, so that your subject or object whenever the thing that you're photographing is facing away from the window. However, the easiest way to get a good photo inside the house, inside of the building, would be to turn your object toward the window light. I use this technique in all of my cases for the getting ready photos, because 100%, so far 100% of my getting ready photos were inside the home, the hotel room, the venue. 100% of the times I will tell my clients to face the window, and then most of the times I will be photographing from the plane that I will be able to see my object facing the window. Same thing for some of the portraits, the bridal portraits, like those iconic, very traditional, very simple photos that you see being done of the bride being the freshest, the most crisp on the wedding day, the flowers are the freshest, the makeup is the most fresh on that day. I want to grab that photo. That's what I will do, is I will ask my bride to face the window, and that's the #1 way to find a good light for your picture. Number 2 would be to use any sort of location that represents or imitates the covered porch or a tunnel. Whenever there is a covering above the people, above the object that you're photographing, and then there's an opening, so they should be right underneath. Sorry if you hear my children. So going back to point number 2, if you put a person or a group of people or whatever you're photographing in the tunnel close enough to the opening of the tunnel or to the edge of the tunnel, you will see a very beautiful light coming into the tunnel. So the tunnel basically tunnels the light, because there is an opening. It's almost like a funnel for the light, where it comes in and then it channels in, and the closer you are to the opening of the tunnel, the stronger the light is going to be and the darker the background is going to be. However, if you move into the tunnel a little bit more, that will be just fine as well. The light just will not be as strong, which might be a little bit difficult for some of the equipment, because some of the equipment does not handle darker situations really well. So I would just tell you, if you find a covered porch or a tunnel of some sort, you are going to have a very beautiful light. So you as a photographer would have to be on the outside of the tunnel, obviously, but your subject, your object should be located right close to the opening of the tunnel, facing the street. Situation number 3 would be to find open shade. And by open shade, I mean that the item, the person you're photographing, is fully shaded. However, you're going to see an open sky above them. So in that scenario, it would be either a big building behind them creating that shade for them, or a very tall tree, or anything like this that will create this situation. It's basically will be your perfect lighting scenario. It will be very easy to get a good, very good photo with any kind of equipment. Number 4 is very similar to number 3, open shade, but it's not open shade. It is a situation where you have very tall or average tall trees that create almost, I could not find a better example, so I just called it a colander. I don't even know how to say that word. It's the thing that you use to strain pasta. Oh, strainer. So it's basically the strainer situation, because there are some holes. So if you would put the light through the strainer, you would see some light patches on the ground. So the same thing when you have trees creating the shade, and then right now I'm talking about the sunny day for the best example, because you will clearly see those spots of light coming through the trees. So if you have the trees, you're going to place your person, let's just keep a person as our example. You're going to place your person facing away from the sun. So the sun is going to be behind them, lighting up the back of their heads. And if the trees are behind them, so you will see some of the sunlight splashes coming through the trees, so some of the sun spots on the back of their body. This is going to be a very good place to photograph as well, because the light will get reflected. I don't want to get into much detail how it actually creates the good light, but if you do listen for 3 seconds, the light coming from the back of them are going to fall on the ground and is going to reflect off of the ground into their faces, and that fills in the shadows and it creates a very good light. However, another tip to remember, if you are standing on the grass, that might not be the most perfect scenario, because it will reflect green tint on their faces. So the most perfect way to have them standing on the cement or asphalted pathway, so that the light can have something neutral, gray or white or yellowish, like sand, like dirt color, to reflect off of, to fill in the light into your object, your person's faces. And number 5 is very difficult to catch. It depends. I will just tell you, it's either moments before the sunrise or moments after the sunset. The moment when the sun is right below the horizon line, it creates the softest and the most beautiful light. So you're going to face your person towards the sun, wherever the sun just set or wherever the sun is just about to rise. The sun is starting or finishing, giving you the most beautiful pink or whatever shade of color it is. It's the most, at least in my taste, it's the most glorious light you can get. Soft, beautiful, and no matter if you have cell phone or DSLR camera, you are going to get a beautiful photo. So if you can catch the moments a few minutes before the sunrise or a few moments right after the sunset, you will get the beautiful photo. And there you have it. I hope you go and test some of the tips I just told you, so that you can create beautiful photos in your life. Because no matter if you do want to become a professional photographer, or if you just want to grab some photos throughout the life, I believe everyone has to be a photographer, because we cannot hire a person to photograph our life every time we are living. You have children. If you have children, you know how many beautiful, cutest moments happen in front of you all the time, so you will want to capture those. If you have a dog, the same thing. They're just so adorable and so loving that you just want to have some photos of them. Or if you're just trying to record your own life, those tips, the way to find good light in a very easy way, are going to help you to get very beautiful photos no matter what kind of equipment you're having. I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, let me know that you enjoyed it. If you have any particular questions about anything else light related or anything else photography or business related, feel free to leave me a comment below this video, or you can message me on social media too, and I would love to answer that question for you so that you can live more easily and enjoy your life better and get to the goals that you're trying to get to. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'm hoping to see you in my next one. Bye-bye.